Skeleton talked to me, asked me a question. The question was, is there a list of important mobility equipment that I need to have at home, right? So that I can do all of these mobilizations that you're asking me to do on your videos appropriately, right? So we've come up with a list. The first thing that you definitely need to have is a lacrosse ball, okay? So lacrosse ball is going to help you work on trigger points. It's going to help you work on deeper sliding surfaces and those deeper tissues that you just can't get to with something like our next item that we need, a foam roller. So foam roller is great for getting superficial sliding surfaces. However, it's not going to get down to that deeper soft tissue or those deeper trigger points that exist in like the deeper quad muscle, maybe that vastus lateralis, or in the glutes, right? Those deep hip rotators. Foam roller, peanut, that's what you gotta have too. You gotta have a double lacrosse ball, peanut, whatever you wanna call it, but you need that to work on the vertebrae. We need that peanut here because it goes really nicely on both sides of the vertebrae here, right? So the valley will absorb these spinous processes, and then the two sides of the lacrosse ball will nicely push up against the transverse processes right here, and that's what we need when we're doing kind of that thoracic mobilization around this area, because that's going to improve that intersegmental mobility, right? The single lacrosse ball is effective here because you can put it on one side of the spine, and that's really effective at working on this articulation between the spine and the rib cage. You can't just work on this part of the system, you have to work on this costovertebral area unilaterally as well in order to get this entire system mobile the way that it needs to be, okay? So you can get your arm overhead or do whatever overhead. These ribs need to be able to rotate or spin backwards and up laterally like this. And if they're stiff there, you can mobilize all you want in this area, but if you're not getting this joint, then you're still not going to be able to move. And our next item is going to be a 5-inch ball, okay? So about 5 inches in diameter. It's a good example of this is like the orb. A company makes something called an orb. It's like a blue ball about 5 inches diameter, semi-rigid. That one works really well for sliding surfaces of the glute, kind of that intermediate area, right? We went deep, superficial, now we're going intermediate. It works really well on this pec area. It works really well on the upper trap region. Getting on that, I've got plenty of videos out there for all of these things, okay? So you guys can check out my Instagram, check out my Facebook, check out YouTube channel, which you're probably watching right now, hopefully. Subscribe. Another good thing to have is monster bands. So these are those thick bands that are used for doing joint mobilizations. Let me see if I have an example here. Be right back. I got some stuff. I didn't have everything around me right now, but I had a couple of things. So just to give you an example of what these things look like, lacrosse ball, very small, it's awesome, fits well in all these areas we were talking about. Bam, that's the best spot though. The peanut, 2 lacrosse balls taped together, so goes right there, very nicely. The monster band, that's what we were talking about. So as you can see, it's a pretty thick rubber band. You're gonna use it to put around your shoulder for certain mobilizations, maybe just cruise around town with it because it's a good fashion statement. But seriously, you'll have to check my other videos to find out how to use this guy, but it's very handy and very useful. Working on your joint capsules is something that's often overlooked by most healthcare practitioners who don't know what the hell they're doing, and you're not gonna miss it now, okay? So get yourself a monster band. What else we got? The foam roller we talked about here. So this is just a trigger point foam roller. I recommend their brand just because it's semi-rigid. This is good for beginners. You can use something harder than this too. I think Kelly Starrett has something called a Battle Star. Something else. Oh, another great thing to have is a kettlebell. So here we are. Let me grab that. So I like to have about either a 35-pound, 40, 45-pound kettlebell. That's going to be definitely necessary if you're going to want to work on some of your shoulder joint mobs, and it's really useful for some of this soft tissue mobilizations that we do, especially on the calf and the quads and stuff like that. Some of that smashing that you can't really get unless you have some serious weight that you can compress that tissue with, okay? So one other thing that I want to talk about was the voodoo floss, okay? Man, let me grab some voodoo floss. I got some voodoo floss, here we go. This is, actually this brand really sucks, Wad Fitters, so I don't recommend it, but this is just what I had lying around. I recommend the brand that Kelly Starrett put out. I think it's called like Voodoo Floss, actually. They sell it at Rogue Fitness. You might be able to go to Mobility Wad and get it as well. Here's the black version of that, but it's just basically this thin like tire inner tube type material that's gonna wrap around your soft tissue, compress it, and allow you to deliver more weight or more pressure into those soft tissues that you're trying to mobilize and improve. It does make a big difference, and you can kind of combine this voodoo floss with the monster band and some of those techniques I demonstrated in my videos as well, so check those out. Another thing that I wanted to show you that doesn't work and is a waste of your time, and you see it everywhere, is this crap. This this kinesio tape. If you have somebody putting this on you, slap them and never do that again, okay? So that's my list of mobility equipment. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Get after it, and yeah, check out my videos, other videos. You can subscribe to my channels, and I'll be back again next week with another great video. So let's say goodbye. All right, goodbye.